42-year-old Yao Deborah was sentenced to 60 months in hard labor or pay a fine of 1,500 cedis for impersonation. The Kwaso District Magistrate Court convicted him on August 31, 2021. Deborah has already served 7 months of his sentence at the Ejura Camp Prison. Godwin Ahiakwa, 25, Abu Muhammad, 29, and Shaban Moro, 19, were also convicted for various crimes ranging from unlawful entry to causing damage and assault. 30-year-old Daniel Mensah was sentenced to 12 months or pay a fine of 1,200 cedis, and Richard Obeng's offense of causing damage to 8 months in hard labor. Kojo Safo, 26, Opong Edmond, 19, and Jonathan Aloy were also convicted for 24 months, 60 months, and 12 months respectively for causing harm and possession of stolen property. Kojo beat up a police officer over a piece of land.
Police a police sergeant.
My elder brother is a sergeant, so I went to beat a policeman and he said he can't help me. My mother was dead and we sold a plot for 1,500 cedis to pay off our debt. The policeman who bought the land said he didn't like the place. He wanted another piece of land or we refund the money. I told him he had to wait for my uncle to come back. If my uncle returns, I'll get some money to refund. By then, I was going on a business trip. I had goods in the bush, so I told him I would give him my uncle's number. If my uncle didn't pay the money, I would pay it myself when I returned from the trip. Then he went to file a complaint. The case didn't even happen at my house, rather my friend's place.
The 26-year-old says he has learned lessons.
What I'll say to those at home is that if anyone slaps you, turn the other side so they slap you again. Because if you are looking for revenge, you could end up like me. In my case, I had help. And what about you?
19-year-old Opong shares his story.
Me a driver and the point my bell every more. Into me ban share mine be no so no man. Oh year more and I'm busa and say by this time we was no man coin out of Pedro piano and also that be.
I work as a Pragya rider. I closed work around 11 p.m. when I met a man carrying a sack. So I asked him why he was carrying a load at this time of the night. Then I asked whether he wanted to board my Pragya to his destination, but he said no, he was going to town to sell his shoes. I told him I needed to see what was inside the sack. When he opened it, I saw hair, ointments, ladies' kente, and others. So I screamed, "Thief, thief!" and he took off leaving behind the sack. At first, I wanted to take the things home, but after second thought, I said that the owner could be in our vicinity and could say that I stole it, so I didn't take it home. I placed the sack in front of an electrical shop near my house. The next morning, I went to inform a porridge seller near the house, but one woman who came to buy the porridge said another complained of her missing items. I took her to the items, and as we were standing there, the woman and her brothers came to applaud me. Later, people accused me of being the thief. They brought CID to come and arrest me. The first day I came here, it was very difficult for me. It's not easy at all. When I go home, I'll advise my friends to be careful. If they listen, it's fine. If they don't, I'll just forget them.
CID for bar on me. First day by crowd, cry. It's so any father easy. Intimidate 2 or 4. Me 1 2 4 between no what you want so. Let me life for more.
While this is Jonathan's first time in jail, he had numerous cases that landed him in police cells.
The family Jonathan allo e din be bida amafo din nim ye jo crack. Me free na vrongu. Ba me papa ewu ntem ma me ye akolabon ntem.
I am called Jonathan Alo, popularly known as Joe Crack. I'm from Navrongo. My dad died early, so I became a bad kid, which is why I moved to Accra. I always moved from Accra to Kumasi, and from Kumasi to Accra, where I met a friend who told me he saw a motorbike somewhere but he can't ride. For me, I know how to ride, so I went with him to Mankanso to steal the motorbike. On the way, we got stopped by a police patrol team. We were asked a number of questions that we did not have answers to, hence the conclusion that we had stolen the motorbike. We didn't have the keys to the bike, so I connected the wire, so when they found out, we were arrested. They sent us to the court and we were both in prison for 2 years, a year each, or a fine of 1,200 cedis. For him, his family came to pay for his release, but for me, I didn't have anybody to help me.
A court. When I'm jail 2 years, 1 year, fine of 1,200. Nti ono dia ono na busia me madam fono na busia nya ska betwai amo mu yi ni free central ba me na ma nya obi ama na ntwa ma me.
Many people in prison are already poor and unable to pay the lowest penalty. When you do evil, evil will come to you, and when you are a good person and help others, good things will happen to you. This principle of karma is an important factor that motivated Reverend Father Eric Enin, parish priest of St. Patrick Catholic Church at Atibobo and in Sowakosi, to pay for the release of the 9 prisoners.
So for the fine, because they had served for some months, it had reduced. And so they worked the percentage. And some I paid 900, some 800, 500. So together I paid 3,200. 3,200 in addition to the food items that I bought. And
just as Jesus said, when I was in prison, you visited me. When I was in the hospital, you visited me. So motivated by this, I decided to visit my friends at the prisons at Ejura here. Then they gave me some of their needs, and as part of their needs, we were able to do most of them for them. Then we decided to also see if there's a way that we can pay the fine for few of them, so that those people can then be discharged.
Superintendent Dixon Owusu Amiao is the officer in charge of Ejura Camp Prison.
So I'm very proud of the people who God touched their hearts to pay for the 9 people's fine to go out. So I always pray for them that God should replenish whatever they have lost. And the inmates who are also going home, I pray for them to go and live in a good life.
The Ejura Camp Prison has 207 prisoners who have committed petty offences. A report by Mohammed Nuruddin.